Last time on FusionFall Z, the last safe zone on the planet has fallen. There is no hope in sight. Our heroes are losing their grip, and our villain has gained a new form. How will we ever make it out of this one? Find out on this episode of FusionFall Z. What's going on, my magical apprentices? I'm your magical dealer, and welcome to the weekly update series of the game you love, FusionFall Legacy's Magical Updates Week 42. We're only 10 weeks away from a whole year of updates, guys. Anyway, unless you're a new viewer, you know the drill. Before we can talk about anything that happened this week, it's time for some magical shoutouts from last week's episode. First things first, I'm the realist. But anyway, I want to thank this dude right here for bringing this to the light. See what I did there? Because light day and night. I'll stop. We'll just move on to the next comment. God dang it, Jimmy! Now I have to do you a solid and give this idea a shout out because I love it. It's great. Let's have a Bobby Hill nano and just have him scream "Dad" over and over. Golf, I'm gonna do you a solid as well and make sure this idea gets to the devs. I promise it'll be on my highest priority of lists, probably. The first picture of the week, believe it or not, doesn't even make me a little bit angry. These little dudes called solo shells get their first redesign for Legacy. From the original game, you can see what they look like here, and I mean, there's not really that much of a difference. They just look more alive in Legacy. These little dudes might bring back a very frustrating memory of a certain nano mission where you had to find them, and they were just nowhere to be found. I mean, you looked and you looked, and you just could never find them, or someone already killed them, and they would never spawn again because the game was glitched and no one cared, and I never got the number 2 nano on my second character, and I'm gonna go for a walk. I can't do this. I'm back in like 10 minutes. Alright, the next picture warns us to stay away from these solos roaming around the graveyard. You gotta admit that these guys look pretty cool, and even cooler is the graveyard itself. If you can't tell from all the pictures we've seen last week and this week, the graveyard is looking pretty sick, and I mean, if you can't admit that, then you're just lying to yourself. Graveyard look dope. And the last picture of the week is one of our 4 guides in the game. Sadly not a nano, but it's Fusion. Even though we've already seen this nano, I really thought we were gonna see a new nano, or maybe even Grim or Billy. But I'll settle for Fusion Ed because he looks great. I mean, what do you guys think of this new Fusion? Doesn't he remind you of something? Jokes aside, Fusion Ed does look pretty good, and it is curious why he's in the graveyard. Perhaps we'll find out soon, or maybe we'll just have to wait till the full game. But that's it for this week. Hey, but before you go, I gotta shout out our patrons who pledged this month. We have Vote BV and Mad A. Thank you guys for pledging. It is always a pleasure to see people are supporting me. I'm trying to save up some extra money so I can make up videos when I'm in college. Hey, and if you want to support the channel too, there'll be a Patreon link down in the description below, along with a link to the official website for FusionFall Legacy and FusionFall Retro, so you can learn all information you want to know, or you can watch the videos I have already made for you guys, teaching you all the stuff you probably should know if you're a new fan, or if you want to get your friends into the game. Hey, if you want to talk to me sometimes, I got a Discord link down there as well. You can come hang out with me. We can talk. We can even play some video games together. How about that? Hey, and if you prefer Facebook, there's a link for that as well. I think I got everything out. Fusion Ed, Kamehameha, awesome graveyard. That's the episode, folks. It's a wrap. I need to go for another welt because I'm remembering the frustration of the number 2 nano mission. As always, my magical dealers, I've been your magical apprentice, and it's opposite day. Stay hype.
Pizza potluck. Potluck, potluck. Pizza potluck. Potluck, potluck.
Potluck.